Welcome back. I mean, I don't even know how to start this. It's been a while since I've done the news. So, welcome back to another episode of the Wrestling Around News with the world famous wrestling journalist, world class wrestling journalist. Every
Yeah,
time
world class, mate.
that'll do. World class wrestling journalist Aaron Franklin. Aaron, how are we doing?
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
Excellent. Cold, bloody freezing.
Yeah, for listeners, Terry Peters is sat there with a blanket wrapped around him.
Yeah, 'cause
So
it's cold. It's minus outside.
Oh,
Minus.
is that Terry Peters? I thought it was fucking Arsene Wenger. I like it.
Arsene Wenger. That's a bit harsh.
Not
Thank
Arsene
God.
Wenger, yeah.
no,
Yeah, on
I'd
Wenger.
prefer to have Arsene Wenger on the podcast, to be honest.
I did not see it. There you go. That's just like I'm here. And we've got Scoop L with us. I forgot. Just go with it. How you doing? In your orange jumper, keeping warm.
Yeah, I'm right.
To
Happy
be
birthday
fair,
for yesterday.
My usual entrance.
yeah, to
Happy
be fair,
birthday
it
for
wasn't
yesterday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
at least the intro wasn't as bad as Ross's 2 weeks ago when he just forgot everything.
Yes, forgot everything, didn't he? Forgot me.
See,
Mm.
there you
Said
go.
about me. There was one actually, Terry, where you joined like just after Ross finished the intro. So to our listeners, it sounded like Ross just completely ignored you.
Yeah, he does anyway, doesn't he?
Yeah. But it just went, oh, welcome Aaron, welcome Lou. And then started the show. It's outrageous.
I know we don't cover him on this on the show usually, but have you heard from Bob?
He's had surgery, hasn't he?
Yeah. Is he all okay?
That's a news story. He's had some shoulder surgery.
Mm.
So I've been locked up in a lockup in East Leeds.
Shoulder surgery. That was also his neck.
Was it his neck?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I better check that actually when I go to get
your neck bone connects to your shoulder bone in a roundabout way, I guess. So we'll go with that.
Connects to your
leg bone, hip bone,
connects to your
ankle bone.
So get your singing voice ready for next week. So
Connects to your boner.
I was prepping you.
But we're gonna well, we'll probably only cover one news story because it is batshit crazy. In the world of professional wrestling, everything's gone topsy turvy in around 2 hours. I'm going to suggest 2 hours since these stories break. Vince McMahon. So the Wall Street Journal has posted. I've got the wrong one up on my screen. Just bear with me 1 second. So the Wall Street Journal, according to a report from them, Vince McMahon intends to make a WWE comeback. He's been gone, what? July? 22nd of July. He resigned initially, or stepped down, due to a hush money scandal. But yeah, apparently the Wall Street Journal are reporting that McMahon has told people he intends to make a comeback, telling them he received bad advice from those close to him when he decided to step down. And he believes that the whole scandal would have blown over should he have remained with the company. Just before I got into the next bit, what do we make of that first part? Obviously, just be careful of what we say here.
Straight off the bat, what I'm thinking right now is it wouldn't have blown over. If anything,
agreed.
It would have prolonged it and made it more drawn out than what it was. Because he stepped down and it kind of all just got pushed under the carpet, didn't it? Because you had the big announcements of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan.
I don't know if it got brushed under the carpet. I think the legal process starts to take its legalness, doesn't it? And there's not a lot that can be published. So, but I know what you're saying. You've not heard a lot about it.
Yeah,
for a couple of
I suppose
months,
it was.
I guess the legalness is doing its legal things.
Yeah, I think it's been overshadowed, hasn't it? I mean, you've had all these returning superstars, and the programs have got a lot better.
I think they've sort of distanced themselves with McMahon, and rightly so. Yeah. Like I said, they have completely distanced. Although he's still the majority shareholder in the company, isn't he? He hasn't appeared on TV since that resignation on July the 22nd, and that was after again reports from the Wall Street Journal that he paid $14.6 million to a woman to suppress allegations of misconduct. And put 4 payments between 2006 to 2022 and all signed non-disclosures. When that comes out, does he? I don't see how that can be blown over if you stay in power personally. But is that McMahon just being McMahon?
I hope so. In a way, I hope this doesn't actually lead to anything. I think someone's just got to pull Vince aside and be like, you had a good run.
Well, this is the first part of the story. This was reported earlier this afternoon. Then we've got 2 hours before the next part comes up, which we'll get onto in a minute. But I just wanted to
the share price is like
thoughts.
10-15% higher than it was when I left at a time when I don't think many share prices are up.
Let's have a look what the share price is. It's down 1.74% as we record right now. And it's been down since 10:15 their time, about 11 o'clock their time. And then it's gone down to about 1.75% as of time of recording.
But yeah, I probably said the same when he resigned. It's kind of a shame if it's happened this way, but it has happened. Move on. If he's coming back, no, I just don't think he should come back. I was going to say even
I don't understand how he can come back.
It's just kind of offensive at this point, isn't it?
I don't understand how he can come back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want him to come back because the product is improved, creative is improved. I think the only capacity I'd even want to see him back in is just some sort of on-screen personality. I won't want him involved
back at all.
Involved in any part, like backstage.
Not even the backstage thing, not even on screen. I think just because of everything that's gone on, I don't understand how he can come back to a company like this. I think in what is they want to be a family-friendly company. How can somebody who's allegedly done all these things then come back to it?
Yeah, but look at Walt Disney. Walt Disney was a horrendous person, probably one of the worst human beings in existence, yet he's got a company built on his name. So, they're a family-friendly company, and he was one of the most despicable humans ever.
Yeah, it's kind of a Nazi, wasn't
he? Yeah.
Disney, I should say, not.
Okay, now.
Well,
you're editing this, so good luck.
Yeah.
And then, so that was early this afternoon. And then, not so long ago, more allegations. Again, reported by the Wall Street Journal. A former spa manager of a 5-star resort in Southern California alleged that McMahon sexually assaulted her in 2011 when he was in the area for a WWE show. Yeah. So again, that was 2 hours after the initial coming back, and there's another allegation against his name as reported by the Wall Street Journal.
When have these allegations come out?
This one, the article I'm reading was published at 5:12 p.m. and the other one, the comeback, was published at 4:43 p.m. And according to the Wall Street Journal, McMahon has told people he refuses to pay settlements to either a former WWE referee who's demanding $11.75 million or this spa manager. So it's crazy, isn't it? How this just still rumbles on, but just how sort of, how do I put this? How he thinks he can just get away with it by paying people off. But it happens all over the world.
I was going to say, he probably thinks he can get away with it because it's happened
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, obviously that's not right, but that's probably why he's an old. How old is he? 78.
77, is he?
77, rich old white dude. Probably can't get away with it because there's a lot of rich old white dudes we have.
Perfect example, Donald Trump.
77,
got caught on camera during his political race saying he wanted to grab a woman in the region and still got made president. You know what I mean? Old rich white dudes get away with it.
Yeah, completely true. So I think that's why he does, but hopefully, I mean, I don't think he will. I don't think. The only wrinkle is that he's still the majority shareholder of the WWE. So I guess if he wanted to come back, there's no.
I think that's where the competition lies, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think with the greatest will in the world, I don't think you look at the board members that we know, Stephanie, Triple H,
Nick Khan,
they don't
fronted it, haven't they?
Nick Khan's a business guy.
I think it goes even bigger than that, though. They're ruled now by the programming stations.
Yeah.
You think Fox are going to want him back on TV?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So that's the bigger picture.
Yeah, you've got Peacock and the big deals. They're gonna the TV rights go up in a couple of years. Not like it's ever a good time to do this, but if they want to kind of be bought out or look to move their stuff to Disney or Fox or Comcast or whatever, then they're not gonna touch this.
No.
You mean look at the Mae Young, no, not the Mae Young, sorry, just slanted someone, the Moolah Battle Royal.
Yeah, it got totally changed, didn't
bit
it?
of fan backlash. Snickers were like, hang on a minute. The fuck's this? We're gonna pull out if you don't change it. It got changed. Yeah. This is much bigger than that. If sponsors are gonna pull out for reasons of that, then they're gonna pull out for this. You can't touch it. I think ratings have still they're going down a bit early at the moment, but they're still kind of up on Vince. There's just no reason for Vince to come back. There's just none at all. The product's a lot better, even if you're the most ardent WWE fan before, and there's no denying the product's a lot hotter now.
Yeah, the product was stale.
Yeah.
Now there's excitement there.
Yeah, if you take out all the horribleness of the McMahon accusations and just look at it from a purely business standpoint, it still makes zero sense for Vince to come back at this point. They've been worried about this moment for years, and it happened. And so the share price went up like month on month. I think it's about 15% since he resigned. Ratings are up. They just had the most successful SummerSlam ever. They had Clash at the Castle. They had the most successful Survivor Series ever, like 2 weeks ago. Why would you bring someone else? Why would you change? What's not broke?
I mean, Royal Rumble sold out. WrestleMania and that pretty much pre-sale sold out, didn't it? Within an hour.
And that's another thing. Do you think
has it ever done that?
Yeah. Do you think The Rock is going to associate himself with Vince McMahon? If these are accusations are even remotely true, it's just not happening, is it? So
no.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back. But yeah, from a purely wrestling standpoint, it just doesn't make any sense, and I don't want to see it.
Agreed. Like I say, the whole thing is just horrific, isn't it? Just horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. But I'm sure, again, more will be developing with this rolling news story over the next days, weeks, months as we go on. Because, crazy. But we'll move away from that. And we will go to... Well, let's do it, WWE. Where are we? Sorry, let me just find my thing. Moving to WrestleMania. We just mentioned WrestleMania there, and Roman Reigns. There is a plan for him to work both nights.
Yeah, I said this. Did I not say this about 2 or 3 weeks ago on the podcast? Wouldn't be surprised. It's a good way of getting a belt off Roman. And WWE must be listening. Triple H, thanks for listening. Sounds like it's going to happen. Apparently, rumor is exactly what I said. The Rock one night, Cody Rhodes the other night.
I assume that means Cody's winning the Rumble.
Well, they've rumored 4 different people, I think, to be winning the Rumble. The Rock, Cody, Kevin Owens, or was it Logan Paul?
Christ.
Rumored to be winning. It's gonna be Cody Rhodes. Rock don't need to win it.
Yeah, I think The Rock could. If The Rock wins it, I think it could backfire a bit like he did when Batista won it before WrestleMania 30. So I think you would go with Cody.
Yeah.
If The Rock's winning it, Cody can't be on TV before or even remotely after the Rumble. Cody needs to wait a bit longer, just so you don't have that Daniel Bryan thing.
Yeah.
That you had before.
Otherwise, he could come back at Mania,
Yeah.
which might make more sense if The Rock does win it. But I don't see The Rock winning it personally.
I think The Rock only needs to turn up at WrestleMania. I mean, apparently he's filming in the lead up to basically February, March, April. It's The Rock, so obviously scheduling is going to be very hard. I don't think The Rock needs any build up. I think he could just turn up at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think you can just do what you did with Kevin Owens and Steve Austin. I don't think Steve Austin was on TV once, was it? He was in a few pre-tips, but he never was in front of a live crowd before this year's WrestleMania. And if anything, they added to it rather than taking away.
Yeah.
So, I'm the same. I think we discussed this the other week, but I would do. You kind of hint at a Rock match, but you're not really sure for the second night.
Yeah.
I'd do The Rock night 1.
Would you?
No,
I'd
I'd
do
close
the
on night 2 with The Rock.
I'd do Rock night 1, and then obviously as a match with The Rock does Reigns, and then the second night, he's a bit in. He could play on injury or something, couldn't you? So as a match with Cody,
Yeah.
Cody gets the win, and you've set up probably another 2 or 3 months program in there between Roman and Cody.
Yeah, it depends how you're going to do
Long-term
it. 'Cause
storytelling.
I'm kind of assuming that Roman's going to take time off after WrestleMania.
I would imagine so.
Not that he wrestles a lot now, anyway. At least not on TV. I think he does a house shows, doesn't he?
I was going to say he's already on a part-time
Yeah,
contract, isn't he?
yeah. But I'm assuming my pick would be he beats The Rock, but loses to Cody.
Yeah,
But I don't know which way you do that. See, I would do Cody first, and then he gets his heat back by beating The Rock, and then he's still the tribal chief. Or does he need the belts for that? I don't know. They made it very complicated with having 2 belts.
Yeah.
it's hard to get one off
Because
him.
Cody's story is just him becoming WWE champion. He doesn't need to beat
Yeah.
Roman. If it could be anyone, really, given the way they wrote Cody off telly, it would be good if somehow they got the WWE title on Seth at this point. But I just can't find a realistic way of doing that. So
No, it's hard to try and take a belt off him, isn't it?
I
Without
think the best way is just
ruining
for
the storyline.
Cody to come after him and say, "Well, I want the WWE title."
Yeah.
And then put the WWE title on the line on its own. Like I said the other week on the news show, it makes sense because then you've got a champion on Raw because Cody is obviously go to Raw with the WWE Championship, and you've got a title on each show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they need to do
that'd
it
be
somehow,
better.
but I don't know. I feel like The Rock versus Roman Reigns, does it mean as much if Roman loses the night before? But similarly, does. Oh, he has to do The Rock first, actually, now I'm thinking about it.
He needs to beat The Rock.
Yeah. But then if he beats The Rock and then loses the night after, does that just kill any kind of.
I don't think no, because like I say, he can play on injury.
Yeah.
I think that is the best way to do it.
Yeah. But I think the Rock match I wouldn't announce as such. I would hint that The Rock is there, obviously. But I would do a very similar, like. Maybe they organise some sort of tribal chief ceremony for Roman Reigns on the Saturday with The Rock's presenting him. And The Rock's like, hang on a minute. Let's not do that. Let's have a match instead.
Yeah.
Because then you'd put if obviously with Reigns beating The Rock, you put in Roman over as one of the greatest of all time, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think that's the plan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how long has he held the titles now?
It was SummerSlam 2020. No, it was Payback 2021. It was the week after SummerSlam. They did 2 pay-per-views in 2 weeks.
Jeez, so yeah, it'd be nearly 2.5 years then, 2.25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be
long old title. And I mean, he's solidified in all of them now, isn't he? Obviously. I mean, I think it was before this run.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
definitely. Now he's up in that upper echelon.
He'll be a 2-time entrant on his own and then with the Shield.
Yeah.
Maybe not Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, although they mentioned the Shield quite a bit, including Dean Ambrose, but maybe that's just Triple H's way of doing things.
Yeah, I don't see Dean Ambrose going back personally. A man that, well, he's due to come back, but won't have a match for the first time in 20 years on WWE TV. John Cena has come back. It's mad that this is the first year in 20 years that he's not had a match. But he's set to appear on the last SmackDown for, I assume, 20 years of Cena.
It's anniversary show, isn't it?
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Yeah, they did. I thought he only did that earlier in the year. It's
What,
20 years.
They might have done.
Austin Fury and his filming got nowhere, didn't it?
That was it. But yeah, it's just weird that this is the first year that we've not seen some form of Cena match, which surprises me.
Do you think we'll get one? Do you think they'll do like a Rock and Eric Rowan situation?
Yeah,
I would like to think they would, but I don't see it. It'd be a shame if they didn't put it that way. It'd be a massive shame.
Just set up Cena versus Theory for WrestleMania. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, but didn't Logan Paul hint at facing Cena?
Yeah, but who wants to see that? I'd rather.
I feel like that would be a bigger match for casual fans.
Yeah, that'd be a huge match because you get.
If you want like the Hollywood Reporter or
that
TMZ.
that is quite a big match because you get all your YouTube.
I think in the eyes of casual fans, that's slightly bigger than Rock and Roman.
and then you get your Hollywood actor now. I think that appeals to more mass audience than Rock Roman would.
Yeah.
Which I could see them doing personally for that reason.
The only thing that scares me about that is that Logan Paul surely needs a win at some point to keep him credible. Do you have him beat Cena?
Would
Yeah.
Be a mega heel move if they want to use him as a heel.
It'd be a great way to get heat on him.
Yeah.
Would they do it? I don't know.
I think Triple H has the balls to do it.
I think
Bear in mind,
Logan
Paul's he's going to be a part-time wrestler, isn't he? Whereas John Cena, is it his priority? No. At the moment, is it Logan Paul's priority? Probably. So, what's your logical business decision going to be?
Yeah, I think you should do it, actually. I mean, I don't like the fall of it, but I guess that's the point, right? If you just need to keep Logan Paul heel, this whole forcing him into a babyface.
Yeah, don't force him into a babyface.
It's just, I mean, it might. I don't
he's
know.
A natural heel.
I've still not seen Crunchyroll yet. I'm really behind. I'm getting less than Ross.
He's a natural heel, isn't he? Because people find his brother very irritating, and that could easily transfer over to him.
Yeah, and just like wrestling fans at the moment don't tend to like outsiders. Although I did notice on a separate note to this, wrestling fans, that Bad Bunny was the most streamed artist on Spotify, despite wrestling fans always being like, who's he? Every time he gets announced for Raw. So that was one for Ryan Satin's barber. Anyway, I'd just keep him heel. I think you've got to, but yeah, why not? Why not go for it? They're getting more and more. I know we don't have our resident combat sports expert and old Russ here today, but I think the Pauls are somehow like mildly respected now in the world of boxing, the world of martial arts.
Well, I think everyone thinks they're a bell end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether they're respected.
I think Logan's respected because he's more business minded.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas Jake's just a fucking tit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe you could get to the same point in WWE.
See, I think people would turn on Jake more than they would Logan. I think
people would hate Jake needs to be a heel 100%. There's no way you can have Jake Paul as his whole business is that people pay to see him get his head kicked in, right? That's basically how that's his life's purpose now.
But he wins. He
wins. But and then people think, oh fucking hell, but I'll get beat up on the next one now. And it's like some slightly go, this guy's only been retired for like 10 years now. He's only like 50. Maybe you can beat him. It's just become being a pension, isn't he?
Yeah. He's become a thief, basically.
Yeah. Speaking of the UFC, I'm just kind of slightly moving off topic. Did you see that MJF was at the UFC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Front row with his AW belt. That's pretty big for AW there.
Yeah, that's massive. Wasn't he calling out Paddy the Baddie?
Yeah, who is the fucking worst person I've ever come. I don't understand how people like this guy.
I feel as though something's gone over this weekend that I've totally missed.
Well, there was a couple of things. One, he started having a go at Ariel Helwani, who is, as you know, a legend in the sports journalism. He talks about wrestling. It's quite good ideas. But anyways, they started having a go at him, and Ariel was like, "Well, you rang me asking for an interview and then demanded money off it." So everyone started turning towards Paddy on that, and then he won on Saturday by points on a decision which he absolutely 100% should not have won. And he was like, "Oh yeah, it was clear as day. I was winning all along, but no." He told a really bad joke about Ariel Helwani to Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan was like, "Oh, fuck's sake." And no one
is that what it's about?
Then he was trying to claim for fight of the night, even though it was shit. And then he won on unanimous decision, and now they're reviewing. It was that bad that even Dana White's like, we're gonna have to look at this judging.
Right. Okay. I didn't realize it was like that, to be fair.
So yeah, the tide is completely turned on Paddy Pimblett. Well, overnight, over the course of about 3 or 4 nights, I think last weekend, but long overdue. He's not the next Conor McGregor. Let him go.
There we go. There we go.
I'm not angry about it, but my God, the fucking cheek on that guy.
Yeah, I've
you having a laugh?
I've totally missed all this. Charlotte Flair apparently returning. She's been gone since May-ish.
Yeah,
I think. April. Yeah, she lost. Yeah, it was a
WrestleMania.
Backlash whenever that
was.
Was it Backlash? That'd be April.
Yeah.
Is that April time?
She confusingly won a WrestleMania and then lost immediately Backlash and left.
Yeah, you think why not just do it? You lose 2 on the bounce and then
keep
go.
on undefeated, so she actually
Yeah.
means something. Yeah, but there
Yeah.
you go.
Well, she obviously gone off and got married, hasn't she? To Andrade, who's been suspended this week, I think.
He's had an operation this week.
Is that what it is? I thought he'd been suspended. I know something that's gone on. They're currently in Rome, I think, according to her Instagram. Looks lovely. Don't know how cold it is. Do we think coming back at the Rumble? I guess that makes the most sense.
Got to be on it.
I hope she comes back, but she doesn't win.
I hope she comes back number 1 and goes out pretty quick.
Yeah, I'd have her come back as number 30. So everyone thinks, oh, fucking hell, here we go. And then someone who's trying to get over as a babyface gets her out. Yeah.
See, I'd be happy.
I'd bring Charlotte back as babyface because she's been a heel for so long. All right, this is what I think. And then you have Rhea Ripley win because that is someone that they're really heavily pushing at the moment.
Especially I'd be a fan of
I'd be a fan of Rhea Ripley winning.
Yeah,
I'd be a fan of Rhea Ripley winning. But yeah, if she comes back, well, when she comes back, whichever way you want to look at it, I think it'll be Rumble personally in the Rumble match.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It makes sense at this point.
I just hope they don't announce it. Just hope they don't announce it because I hate spoiled Rumble returns.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Depending who it is, because obviously Triple H 2002 was pretty good, but like someone like that, just get him to turn up, and that's how, for me, you become a natural face. That nice pop and surprise. Yeah. And she's been heel, like you said, for so long.
Where we're on the Rousey, it'll work with anyone. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Well, where Charlotte comes back and just points at the sign for 40 minutes, and
yeah, that's the one.
Got you. Obviously, as we know, the Royal Rumble winner goes to WrestleMania, and WrestleMania this year, next year, Lesnar versus Gunther is being planned. Which, oh my word,
I am all for this.
I would love to see this.
Just 2 big boys slapping me. Give Gunther the win. He's be just fucking over as one of the biggest badasses in WWE right now.
Yeah, that would be unbelievable.
If he beats
I think
Lesnar,
a lot of people pay good money to see that.
If he beats Lesnar, he's a legit force to be reckoned with and potential adversary for Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's got match of the weekend written all over it, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's good. Sheamus and Gunther all over again, isn't it?
Yeah, doesn't even have to go like a long time, 5-8 minutes. Just have them slap the shit out of each other. That's all you need.
Suplex City and then a shitload of chops.
Yeah, that's all you need. Yeah. Like I say, it doesn't need to be a long match. It doesn't need to be an intrinsic match. Just do what big boys do and beat the shit out of each other.
Big meat and slapping meat.
I would be all for that. But a man of Riddle has been written off TV, so whether he'll be at WrestleMania, because he's violated the wellness policy for the second time. So I think storyline, he was written out injury for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it's just sort of come out, hasn't it, that he's violated the wellness policy for the second time.
Yeah, he's been given the Jeff Hardy treatment. They're basically giving him 2 choices. Either he goes to rehab or he gets sacked.
Yeah, he goes to rehab or he goes to AEW. That's the 2 choices.
I did read.
I'd be going to rehab.
I did read that apparently WWE don't test for marijuana anymore. So I don't know. So I don't know what it is that he's failed on. But it sounds like if they've given him a 6-week in storyline injury, that he might not be gone for very long.
Yeah, but if you say 6 weeks, if it's 12 weeks, are people really going to sum that up? Like, put 2 and 2 together? You know. Look at Charlotte Flair. I don't think she was supposed to be gone for near on a year. She has.
I don't know. To be fair, did they even really write Charlotte off, or did she just disappear? I don't really know.
She just disappeared. She wasn't like
she just disappeared. Yeah. When they've announced it, did it 6 weeks? It could just be. It sounds like they'd had something planned for it.
Yeah, I just hope he gets himself.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we just want. We
don't want another Jeff Hardy, do we?
No, I mean, like you say, you just want to get himself sorted, don't you?
I believe the first one was around the time of Clash at the Castle. Well, SummerSlam Clash at the Castle, because they moved that match, didn't they? So,
is it still 3 strikes you're out?
I think so. Although they don't announce them anymore like they used to, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, because I know Randy Orton, he's had 2, hasn't he? But whether they're sort of write them off after a time. I don't really know. Like, if you go 4 years without one, you go back to none, essentially. I don't know. But obviously, I hope he gets all the treatment that he needs and he comes back better than ever. Bobby Lashley fired by WWE. Was this last night Raw storyline?
Yeah.
Is he off to SmackDown? Is he off to NXT? What?
I don't think they've kind of hinted towards anything. They've just he came out. Didn't he had a match and lost his shit, didn't he? Then Adam Pearce came out and he assaulted Adam Pearce. Pearce sacked him on the spot.
So he's probably be off for a bit of time then, by the sounds of it.
Oh, I might be back next week in the front row, just attacking Adam Pearce every week, just bullying him.
Well, I wonder is he maybe got an injury that they don't want to disclose, and that's why they've done it, or did he just want some time off?
It's really weird. They seem to keep building feuds where you could feasibly have Adam Pearce's return match, and that just didn't happen.
Adam Pearce v Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's what I reckon. Yeah,
I
reckon so. Jimmy Noble just had a match of the weekend, didn't
he? He did.
Yeah, he did his final ever one, didn't he?
Yeah, Adam Pearce wants the same.
Well, maybe not. I don't know. We'll find out. But again, Bobby Lashley, if he could potentially be back for the Rumble, I think that's the thing now, isn't it? Everyone's sort of no pay-per-view now to the Rumble. Anyone that disappears, that's probably the aim, isn't it?
Keep him off TV. Makes for a good return at the Rumble, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry, yeah.
Bear in mind, it's 40-man Rumble, potentially, rumoured. You're going to need a few good pops in there, aren't you? So,
I suppose it depends what the reason is behind him being kayfabe fired, isn't it? If it's injury, then is it a long injury, or is it just he's requested a bit of time off, so they've done it that way? Or are they going to repackage him potentially as well? I don't know.
Does he need repackaging?
I don't think he does personally, but who knows? Because again, we'll get into a time, aren't we, where there will be different sort of paths for characters and wrestlers. So whether they're going to repackage him as something else, we'll have to wait and see. We shall wait and see. What else we got? NXT deadline results. Anyone seen it?
I've watched half of it.
I forgot all about it. Was it Saturday?
Yes.
Any good from what you've seen?
Yes, especially the tag team match.
So we had Roxanne Perez beating Zoe Stark, Cora Jade, Kiana James, and Indy Hartwell in a Women's Iron Survivor Challenge to determine the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship.
This was very
25 minutes.
This was a very good match and a great concept.
I was going to say the concept's meant to be very good from what I've...
Do either of you know how it works?
I've kind of got an idea.
I know there's a penalty box.
Yeah.
That's as much as I know.
So you have two people starting, then every 5 minutes you have a new person come out. If you get pinned or submitted or DQ'd, you go in the penalty box for 1 minute 30. Then whoever at the end of the time limit, which I think was 30 minutes off the top of my head.
25.
Is it 25?
Yeah.
Whoever's got the most points wins.
So Roxanne Perez had 2, Zoe Stark had 1, Cora Jade had 1, Kiana James had none, and Indy Hartwell had 1.
Indy Hartwell had a huge pop. The crowd were massively behind her.
I think it's from what I hear, there are meant to be some quite good characters on NXT 2.0, and it's not actually meant to be as bad as what people make it out. I think it's just because it's not the NXT that people know and love that it kind of gets a bad rap. But from what I hear, it's actually meant to be pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really watch anything apart from the pay-per-views, but I'm halfway through it. I'm enjoying the pay-per-view so far. So
because this is now Shawn Michaels, isn't it? More than anything.
Yeah.
More than anything.
We'll see when Mr. Bugle gets back.
Yes. We'll get on to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Isla Dawn beat Alba Fire. So Isla Dawn is that Kaylee Ray?
Yeah.
Formerly Kaylee Ray? Or is that Alba?
Alba Fire was Kaylee Ray.
Alba Fire is formerly Kaylee Ray, isn't it? I don't know who Isla Dawn is off the top of my head. In 9 minutes 52 in just a match. The New Day, which this one surprises me, win the NXT Tag Team Championships against Pretty Deadly, who are Elton Prince and Kit Wilson. Do you know one of them was on First Dates?
Was it?
I don't know.
Yeah, and the girl left. She was right, bitch. I remember her. I felt real sorry for him.
So this is how far I've got in the pay-per-view. This
I think
match
it was Elton. I think it was Elton Prince that got stood up.
Yeah, so this match was fantastic. Kofi Kingston has broken some records. So
What
he's
records
now
has he broken?
So he's now 15-time tag team champion. So he's overtaken Booker T. He's the first WWE champion to win a title on NXT. And Austin Creed, that's his fucking original. Xavier Woods is the first King of the Ring winner to win a title on NXT.
Ooh. I'm intrigued by this. Also, I love the Eddie Guerrero spot where all four of them did it. That's the only spot I've seen
It's
out of the whole
fantastic.
thing.
Oh
That
yeah,
was-
I've seen that. That was pretty
It's
good
a bit
actually.
like you'd see it on like an indie show, like but it was very weird to see it on like
It's
a
just
WWE,
good, isn't it?
not
It's
a main
just
roster
fun.
show, but yeah, an NXT show. But the way they did it was like ingenious. To be honest, I felt all four of them going down.
But NXT does feel just like an indie show. So the crowds are fairly small. You know what I mean? It's
Well, I think the next NXT event, Vengeance Day, is going to be on the road, and it's going to be outside of the Performance Center, which will be interesting to see how they draw and what sort of venue they go for.
Yeah, definitely. Because they've got the early show at Mania as well, haven't they? Like stupidly early.
I hope so, because I know that was a pain in the ass for the fans to get to, but it was great for a Saturday afternoon.
I'm sure it's like I'm sure I heard it's like either 9:30, 10:15, something like that, 8:45. It's some ridiculously early time. Not even a matinee show.
Oh, because it's on the West Coast, isn't it? So WrestleMania
just
itself
a breakfast
starts at like
show.
3 o'clock, doesn't it? Yeah.
Just a breakfast show.
Yeah.
And then after that, we have the second Iron Survivor Challenge match of the night, where Grayson Waller beat Carmella Hayes, JD Madonna, Joe Gacy, and Axiom.
He's a maths guy. That's his gimmick.
You'll be well in with him then. In 25 minutes, Grayson Waller has 3 points. Carmella Hayes has 2. JD Madonna 0. Joe Gacy has 2, and the Masked Man has 2. And in the main event of the evening, Bron Breakker beat Apollo Crews in 14 minutes 34 seconds to retain the NXT Championship. Apollo Crews, I'm surprised that he's lost that in a way. Because where does he go from here?
No, he stays on NXT, doesn't
he? Yeah.
But then what?
Just leave him on NXT. It's fine.
He just feels like he had all the promise, didn't he? 6 years ago, and he's just
it's a long time ago.
He's not done any. It's not done it. He debuted, didn't he? The night after Mania. It's nearly 7 years, and it's like, what has he actually done? Other than had a Nigerian drum fight.
Yeah, I thought he was his gimmick was quite good when he went for that, but he's dropped all that now. He's back to
Apollo Crews, but
I don't think he's as happy to be there as he was.
He's Moody Crews rather than Happy Crews.
He's annoyed that he's in NXT. That should have been his gimmick. It's always like, I'm happy to be on the main roster. It should have just been livid that he's in NXT. Just, fuck's sake, here we go.
He probably is losing that. He probably is. He's only 35 though. Still only 35.
Yeah, he's got 11 years on the Bobby Lashley scale.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm surprised in a way that he's lost that, only because I just think I don't really know where he goes from here, but they've probably got a plan for him, probably got something for him. Moving companies, we're not going to go to AEW just yet. We're going to fly all the way over to Japan because the former Sasha Banks, God, I'm glad Ross isn't here for this one. Mercedes Vanada is apparently to work at New Japan Wrestle Kingdom 17. Interesting. In a way, doesn't surprise me, but I feel as though she's becoming very much a female CM Punk.
Yeah, I mean,
in ring, she's brilliant. I kind of got why she got really annoyed to start with. When she initially went in May, was it May?
Yeah.
But now she's starting to annoy me a little bit.
I think she's too big for her boots. She thinks she's worth more than what she's actually worth. That's why negotiations with WWE have kind of
stalled.
Broken up. Yeah, because she's asking too much money.
I think to be fair, that she does have like a mainstream appeal because she's obviously done other things outside of the WWE, and I do think WWE haven't maybe capitalized on that as much as what they could have done. So I kind of see a point, but this one surprises me that she could be going to New Japan.
Yeah, she seems to be getting into a wrestling now, doesn't she? Like, I don't know, I know that sounds like a really daft thing to
No,
say,
but I know what you mean.
I think the first time she took time off, she went with Satomura and did some holds of air. Now this time she's been down in Mexico, so I think she just wants to go out and have like an absolute bang of a match. I think is it Kyrie who's the
Yeah.
Another thing, we're gonna you brace yourself for a lot of fucking Sidric types, but like they're gonna have that match in in New Japan, but they couldn't have it in WWE because of the style. But yeah, once you get over that, I think there is a AEW event in early January where Saraya's got a mystery partner.
Yeah.
So
weren't they a tag team to? No, they weren't. Whether it was PCB, it was PCB, wasn't it?
Sasha was the one who took out Edge originally.
Yes, she was. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how it develops over because I don't know when her WWE contract is officially ended. If it's officially ended,
well, if you believe Raj Giri of Wrestling Inc., why would you not? Well, guy, sorry, but he said that she was released in June, no compete up until the end of the year. So he thinks that's why everything's happening in January.
That makes sense.
Don't know how true that is. I don't think anyone really knows.
But I do think sometimes she does have a very CM Punk attitude in the way.
Oh yeah, she thinks like I say, she thinks she's worth more money than what she actually is. I mean, apparently, New Japan have paid her more than what they paid Chris Jericho. Paid him £100,000 per show.
To be fair,
and that's Chris Jericho, one of the greatest of all time.
To be fair,
Sasha Banks is not one of the greatest of all time.
I think a lot of people will be will want to see how she gets on. So I kind of think that she might
also,
shift a few tickets
for New Japan. I know they on Stardom now, or they link with them, but New Japan have never had a women's division before.
No, I was going to say it's quite a big draw for them, isn't it?
Hardly making a splash as well.
Yeah.
Well, Dave Meltzer thinks it's going to absolutely flop. If you believe anything he says.
I don't believe a word that Dave says.
If Dave Meltzer says something Japan's going to flop, then he's not said that lightly.
He knows his Japanese wrestling. I'll give him that. And if he's like adamant, she ain't going to be worth the paper she's written on. It's basically what he said. The amount of money they're paying her, they're not going to make that in revenue. He says.
I think
for it to be a massive draw. Yeah, people might buy it at home, but I don't think the Japanese.
I think it brings a lot of new eyes to New Japan, though, just in general, just who will then start going, oh, okay, not necessarily by the event, but maybe start to go, oh, right, what's this that she's at? I've not heard of this before. Because I think she does have quite a lot of appeal to people, like say, because she has obviously got that stuff that's outside of WWE anyway.
Yeah.
Get your tinfoil hats on. Wait for this one, right? Sasha still works for WWE, and this is the start of a working relationship between New Japan and WWE. You've already got WWE contracted Carl Anderson on that card.
Yes, you do.
Oof. So there you go.
Is that the first time that a contracted WWE person is going to be working for New Japan?
In the recent, Hogan did it. They all used to do it back in the day. They used to have a working relationship back in the 80s. That was it. But
so it's probably in the last 30
of recent times, I think so.
What I can more likely see to
Carl
happen.
Anderson.
Yeah. What I can more likely see to happen is because Tony Khan's a fucking idiot with his money, he'll sign her on a stupid salary, and bring her in for that January show to tag with Saraya. Then halfway in the match, Saraya screw job on Sasha.
Yes.
And that sets up a feud.
You broke my neck. Yeah.
That's what you do.
I could see something like that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if she isn't in AEW at some point next year.
I think she's doing some sort of charity podcast with Bailey there in December as well. So it's all then the next getting time.
Well, I think they're really like friends, aren't they, as well? Yeah. So, but I think she's wanted to move away from WWE for a while, and she's obviously starting to make the moves too. But it will be interesting to see how she gets on in New Japan.
Yeah, apparently she wanted more money than what Roman Reigns is on. Just throwing that out there.
I think if she wants that much, she knows she didn't want to go back. Really,
she's basically that's like saying, as a footballer, I want £1 million a week, and if a club goes, yeah, all right, then you go, all right, well, I'll go there for $1 million, whatever. You're not. It's one of them, innit? You think, well, I'll put a stupid price on it. If they pay it, then happy days. If they don't, then I'll go do something else I want to do.
The example that we're probably all thinking of right now is Shane Ritchie and the Daz adverts. So if you can believe in.
but the soaps are available.
Yeah.
Moving over to AEW / Ring of Honor. What the fuck has he done with this Ring of Honor relaunch? Jesus Christ.
Absolute shit show.
So he's charging $9.99 a month for the back catalogue, which is fine, but you don't get your pay-per-views for 90 days. What on earth?
Yeah, because that's on Bleacher Report, right? But you get the weekly TV show, I guess, don't you?
Yeah.
But I guess that's the other issue. He built it up so much that we're going to get a TV deal.
I think he balls that there was a TV deal that's been taken away somewhere or something.
Well, there's been a lot of
hasn't
changes at
gone.
Warner Bros., hasn't there, who run the networks, TNT and TBS. So I think really the bigger story is more how are AEW going to expect to get an increase on their rights if they can convince them they want a fair share. And also, more to the point, why are they just using fucking Rampage as the Ring of Honor show?
Yeah.
Nobody watches it anyway.
Did you see
Do you
again? Because he
I
can't help
don't-
himself bringing people. Trent Seven turned up on Rampage and then
Yeah.
lost Orange. What is the point? Genuinely, what is the point? Sorry, Aaron. Go ahead.
See, I don't think a subscription service instead of a TV deal in modern times is such a bad idea.
No, I don't. No, I agree.
Because I think any company, if WWE went onto Disney, they'd probably make more money on being on a subscription service than what they're doing from Fox and USA. That's without a doubt, because you'd have people subscribing to watch your weekly shows on there. Even if they charged, I don't know, 20 quid to get your weekly shows on there as well, which you don't get on the WWE network at the moment.
I think subscription methods are the way to go, but to me, you need some form of fan base already built up. It's as much as subscription markets go, it's fine to have it on there, but you need something to entice people to get it there. And it's all well and good having your live shows on there, but if I assume Raw is on cable, is AEW on cable as well?
AEW's on cable.
Yeah.
So if you already pay for cables already and you think, well, can I afford another tenner? Am I really that bothered about it? To me, you kind of need it on national TV to start with, and then try and move over to that subscription-based service.
So obviously, I don't live in America. I don't know how much cable costs, but I'd imagine it's quite a hefty sum each month. Probably if it's anything like Sky over here, you're looking like 60 quid a month.
Yeah,
is that what people
more.
pay on average?
Yeah.
If you're a wrestling fan and all you watch is wrestling, would you not subscribe to like an AEW subscription, a WWE subscription, Ring of Honor subscription, which would maybe equal $30 a month, rather than your 60?
I think the argument is you're not going to grow your.
Yeah, you're not going to grow because
because no one's.
Yeah, I suppose
you're not going to get your organic growth because people aren't going to want to say, "Well, I'll give it 5 months." And then potentially $50 for something.
I think the issue here is like Tony's probably. I think one, he bought Ring of Honor because he could buy Ring of Honor. I don't think he really thought of what he was actually going to do with them. But two, I think he's really, from the outside looking in, he relies too much on thinking he's going to get more out of Warner Bros. Than he is. This Honor Club it's not great. It's not great value, I don't think. But if you had all the Ring of Honor and AEW pay-per-views, all the back catalog of AEW. All the Ring of Honor back catalogue and the Ring of Honor weekly show. It's a
different ball game.
Just give it the NXT treatment. NXT, everyone loved and it was the best weekly wrestling show.
I think
that was exclusively on the network when it first started.
You think how much you get on the network, and Peacock over there is $5 for the basic one.
Yeah.
So it's half the price, and you get a hell of a bigger back catalogue. Yeah. Granted, you don't get your live stuff for a month, but I mean I would imagine that mainly affects people over here more than it does in America, because obviously of the times and stuff.
Yeah, but you're gonna get your hardcores with this, are you? But it's not
but to me,
it's not a TV deal, and that's what you promised.
No,
so that's the issue.
To me, the brand it suffocates your brand growing it because you can't get free eyes to it. In essence, granted, people who pay cable, it's obviously a small number. A smaller number than general population. But if you wanted somebody like one of us three who'd never watched wrestling before, are they really going to pick up a subscription that they've never heard of for $9.99 a month? Probably not. So it's only going to be really hardcore that's ever going to get it, I think, unfortunately.
Yeah, you'll see a few.
I think that's why the growth stumps.
Yeah, I think it's also it won't stop having you won't stop having Ring of Honor guys on AEW now because that's how they'll sell the Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
if you like this guy,
you can catch them online at blah 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 blah.
please.
Yeah.
He has said though he ain't gonna have him involved in like any storylines per se.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have him on it, basically.
Yeah. Like Samoa Joe's still got he's got the Ring of Honor TV Championship and the TNT Championship.
I am telling you now, the only reason Tony Khan has done that is to keep Samoa Joe away from WWE and to keep him happy.
So they do a Regal.
I think it's on the cards.
Speaking of Regal,
when he retires.
Speaking of Regal, he's apparently been released by AEW and he's on his way back to WWE. But he did tweet out something interesting this week, didn't he?
He did.
Where he said, "Let me just bring it up." Unless you've got it there, Luke. Something that you would have. I've got it. He said, "There's been a lot of news about me." This was 19 hours ago at time of recording. There's been a lot of news about me getting spread around. There's enough people who really know me, although there are a few. Although there are few as trust is a big issue with me. Right? Okay. Who know the truth. Unless you hear it from me directly, it is at best secondhand information. Unless you hear it direct from me. It is either wrong or someone's interpretation of what is really going on, and that means everything that is said about me from every source. That goes for anyone saying they have spoken or know me. A still tongue keeps a wise head.
Well,
so
I
Regal
think
playing very coy.
I think he's just trying to put people off. Tony Khan's already come out and said, I have granted him his release.
Yeah, but I think what he's basically saying there is don't just assume that I'm going back to WWE, even though he probably is. I think he's sort of playing it down a little bit.
I think as well there's a lot of reports that he hated his time in AEW.
Yeah, I think there's all the other bits, isn't there, that's gone on as well that he regretted leaving WWE and etc. etc.
Well, he didn't have a choice, did he?
Yeah.
At least.
But what I mean is a regretted sign for AEW rather than just sitting around or whatever.
Apparently, Vince let him break his non-compete clause to sign for him, so he actually had a month where he was paid by WWE and AEW.
Yeah, the only person in history to do that.
Yeah. But I'd be welcome.
Bischoff must have ran him close though, because I'm sure he'd end up in both within weeks of each other.
I'd be welcome to see him back. It'd be cool.
This for me is probably my favorite news story in recent times.
Yeah, and he won't be on TV at all next year. That's part of the deal.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be. He'll be vice. Yeah. He'll be vice president of creative or something, won't he?
I think that's what he wants as well. I don't think he wants to be an on-screen character at this point. He probably had a good time doing the Blackpool Combat Club stuff, and I think Bryan Danielson brought him more of a favour, didn't
he?
Yeah, because I think I read about Regal that he never reneged his British citizenship, so he has to be working.
Yeah.
He can't just if he stays unemployed, then he'll end up back in Britain at some point.
Yeah. I mean, vice president of creative and being a coach to the young guys, I think it'd suit him so well.
Yeah.
And
he's working with his son, which I think as well.
Yeah.
It's motivations.
Although there is bad news to come out of this, in the fact that his podcast will be coming to an end.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Obviously, due to WWE rules, he's not allowed to do his podcast alongside working for WWE. So apparently, there's only 3 more episodes.
To
come out, and that's the end. So
I've
been enjoying his podcast as well.
Yeah, I was hoping to get one of those Bruce Pritchard deals. That's a shame.
You never know. In a year's time, they might give him like a deal like what Austin's got.
Yeah,
and have like a podcast on the network.
They need to bring back that legend. I'm just rambling now because we should probably wrap up soon because Ross is waiting. But that Legends of Wrestling Roundtable they used to do.
Oh, I thought you meant Legends House.
Which is that as well. Actually, that'd be great. Regal on there. But like, they just used to have 4 or 5 old wrestlers, and like someone like Jim Ross or Gene Okerlund like leading it, and they just used to talk about give them like a loose theme and let them talk for an hour. It's great.
No, they are still on there. They are still doing. They've just done one with the Steiners and Bron Breakker.
Oh, is that Tale for Free?
Yeah, Tale for 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what there was something different about Legends Wrestling. I don't know what it was. I think it was less edited. And longer. They went on for like an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. They were great.
But we shall leave it there this week, gentlemen, for the news anyway. So thank you both for joining me. We are back on Wednesday for World War III 97, aren't we?
Yeah, these are probably coming out the same day.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hopefully.
Well, so give that a listen if that is your
Yeah.
thing. Thank you for joining us for the news this week, Aaron.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this week, Scoobell.
Thank you.
Bob, wherever you are, I know you're not on the show, but there you go. Thank you. And we'll see you on Wednesday for World War 397.